Hey guys, Cecil here once again. I just wanted to do a quick little video since I hadn't done one in a while, and I wanted to talk about a really great gaming company that I think kind of gets overlooked by a lot of the bigger publishers, and that, if you can't tell by the title, is XSeed Games. Now, before I start really talking about XSeed, I'd like to maybe talk about another company that you've probably heard of that's unfortunately no longer around, and that's Working Designs. Now, back in the late 80s, early 90s, there weren't a whole lot of really good publishers out there in North America that were taking chances and bringing over some of the more unique Japanese RPGs and other, unique games that, American audiences might be interested in because, most companies, they wanted to focus on like action, platforming, and things like that. They didn't want to take a chance on translating a really big RPG that they felt was kind of niche. And Working Designs was a company that took that chance and brought over a lot of great games on various systems that otherwise we may never have seen in America. It started on the TurboGrafx 16 with like Cosmic Fantasy 2 and Exile. And then they moved to the Sega CD and they published great games like just a couple I'll show you here, like Potful Mail and the original Lunar and Lunar Eternal Blue. Really great games on the Sega CD. And then they would move to the Saturn and the PlayStation. They started out on the Saturn a little bit. They published great games like Albert Odyssey and Dragon Force and like Sega Ages, stuff like that. They also published a lot of like shooters on the PlayStation, like Ray Crisis and Ray Storm and things like that. Really good shmups, and obviously the Lunar remakes, and Ark the Lad collection. I mean, they did a ton of great stuff on the PlayStation. Even did a couple of PS2 games before they tanked. I think their last release was like the Growlancer box in like 2004. So over the years, they released a lot of great stuff to American audiences that we may have never seen otherwise, and no other companies may have taken a chance on. And unfortunately, in 2005, Working Designs, probably due to poor sales and everything of their games, unfortunately had to fold. Now, kind of going along that same path, there's another great company that I kind of feel has taken up the banner, and there's been a few other companies too that have done this as well, but I'd really say XSeed Games. They're the company that really has taken that torch that Working Designs started with and really have carried it up till now, and they've been doing a great job publishing a lot of great stuff. For us American gamers on PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, DS, PSP, and now on the Vita they got their first title coming out as a downloadable. So I just wanted to share and why I think they're such an awesome company. Now late last year, I think in the fall, they started an online store. And you can order games directly from them. I think you got to have like a $20 minimum order. They only ship to like the U.S. right now. I don't know if they'll ship to Canada International. I'd have to go take a look. But why I'm mentioning this is because they do something really cool that I think is awesome that no other company I would think would do. Or I don't know if other publishers like Atlas would do this if you order from their online store. I've never done that, but I just think that's really awesome that XSeed does this. And I'm just going to share with you a couple of orders I've ordered from them in the last couple of months. I haven't really had a chance to play a lot of these games, but I just wanted to share them with you and show you what I picked up. In the first order, they kind of had a sale where they had like half off certain, like a 50% off sale on certain of their titles, and I took advantage of that. The first game I picked up was Flower, Sun, and Rain. I don't know what this one's about. I guess it's kind of a mystery, kind of I don't know if it's a thing like Professor Layton or whatever. That looks like it's kind of the thing that's going along, but it looked kind of interesting. The reviews were kind of mediocre on it, but mediocre reviews doesn't mean it's not a great game. If you ever played like 999, there might be some publisher or excuse me, some reviewers who might think that's pretty mediocre, but they might think it's actually a great game. The next one I picked up is Ragnarok Online DS. I know this was a really popular game on the on PC and everything, and they ported it to the DS, and it's a great little online title, I guess. But unfortunately, again, I probably won't have a chance to play it anytime soon, but I'll give it a chance. They also had just a standalone copy of Lunar. There is a collector's edition of this out there that XSeed released, but they don't have it anymore. I think it's out of print. But for $10, I mean, they had the standalone version, and so I figured it was worth picking that up. And a dungeon crawler, Dungeon Maker, Hunting Ground for the PSP. Again, don't really know much about it. Reviews were kind of mediocre, but for $10, I figured why not? Brand new sealed. And a couple of Wii games. Ivy the Kiwi. Now, I played the DS version of this, and I haven't had a chance to play the Wii version yet, but this is a really, really great game from Prope, which was the company that Yuji Naka, who was kind of the founding father of Sonic the Hedgehog. He was the original programmer for the original Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega Genesis, And I think he left Sega in like 2005 or 2006 and formed Probe. And this was one of the first games they did. They released it for the DS and the Wii. And XSeed published. I don't know if XSeed published the DS version, but I know they published the Wii version. And this is a really, really great puzzle game. You kind of got to guide. It's kind of like a Lemmings kind of thing, but you got to guide Ivy over, platforms and other things with your Wiimote. You'd like draw him lines on the DS, and I'm assuming you do that something similar with the Wiimote. And this is a really great puzzle game, and for $10 I couldn't, not get the Wii version. And also, Skycrawlers, Enos and Aces. This is a really good flight combat game. I think it's based off an anime. I'm not sure, but I heard really good things about this. A lot of people on IGN, forums I moderate, they said this is a really good game, so I figured for $10 it was worth picking up. So those were the 6 games I ordered. But what was cool about XSeed and what they did with this is they included a couple of freebies, and I wasn't expecting this at all, and I think this is really great that XSeed did this. They included, I think this is a dozen Lunar Bromide cards, I think these are. These came with the collector's edition of Lunar, and I thought it was awesome that they would throw this in, because I never got a chance to get the collector's edition, so I have at least that little piece of that. And they also included, even though it's, out of date now, it's a 2011 East the Oath of Felghana, which is East 3. This is a 2011 calendar that came with the collector's edition. Now, I have the collector's edition of that, but it's kind of cool to have an extra copy. So that was kind of awesome. That was the first order I got. So I did it. Oh, and there was one other thing I did order, and it was from Anime Expo 2011 that obviously over in Los Angeles that I never had a chance to get. This was also part of that 6-game order, and it was the East Oath and Felghana T-shirt. It's got all 3 the main characters on there, and it's got East the logo, the XSeed logo, and the Falcom logo, who's the company who created the East series. So, that was kind of cool. So, I ordered a T-shirt, 6 games, and they threw in some extras, and I think that's just great that companies do that for gamers. Now, the second order I picked up was a little bit smaller of an order, but I think it's still, kind of cool. The first game I got was Sola to Robo. This is kind of a spiritual sequel to the PS1 game Tales Concerto. I haven't really had a chance to play it, but Tales Concerto I really enjoyed a lot on the PlayStation, kind of a platformer action game, and this looks like it's kind of in that same vein. It comes with a soundtrack CD, which is kind of cool. Another game I picked up, this was an interesting little RPG. I've heard a lot about it. I remember it got mixed reviews. I never picked it up, but it was $20, and I figured why the hell not, give it a chance. It's called Fragile Dreams. I forget the reviews. Like I said, I remember they were kind of hit or miss, but I'm willing to give any good JRPG a chance, and XSeed usually does a pretty good job with their games, so I was willing to give that a chance. And I think kind of the big thing I got, and even though it's just probably a big piece of plastic, it's the Fishing Resort game with the Wii remote controller, and it's basically more or less just kind of like if you ever used the Wii Zapper. It's kind of along those lines. You just put the Wiimote and the nunchuck in there, and it's kind of like a fishing game. And I figured, why the hell not? This came out late last year, and I think this is kind of a neat little box that XSeed released. I think it's $35. It was $35 on XSeed's site. I think Amazon had it for $30, but I just wanted to order from XSeed to, give them the little bit extra business, and $5 isn't really gonna, hurt me for a great company like that, at least as far as money goes. And in that second order, I think it was kind of cool. Oh, and there was another T-shirt. This was the other East T-shirt that they had that I wanted to pick up in the first sale, but I didn't have enough money at the time. And it's the Say No to Walls T-shirt. If you ever played East 7 or any East game, I think you'll get the inside joke there. And again, it's just got the XSeed, Falcom, and East logo on it. And in that order, they included a couple of neat little things, and I thought, again, this was pretty awesome that they did this. They included the little squeezable, one of those little, I don't know, the stress balls. And this was a pre-order bonus that came with Little King Story, which I picked up from Amazon a while back when it was on sale, and I never got a chance to play that game. I have it; it's still sealed, and I haven't had a chance to play that. I've heard really good things about it, but that was kind of cool. I thought I thought it was cool that they included that, and also this was in the East 7. Pre-order, or God, I'm sorry, I can't talk today. It was in the East 7 collector's edition, which I have, and I've been playing that game quite a bit. It's a really good RPG. If you ever played any of the East games, it's really good. And this is the cloth map. So again, a couple of really cool freebies that they included with their orders. So, I would say I'll put a link down below to their website and their online store. The game prices aren't, the cheapest by any means. I mean, you might be able to find better sales online. But I mean, if you follow them on Facebook or just check out their online store every once in a while, they might have sales again. Like they were doing a 50% off sale on a lot of those first games and a lot of the games in the first order I picked up. But I just wanted to give props to XSeed. I think they're a really, really great company to, to throw in extras like that, and companies like that, and XSeed Games, and NIS America, and Atlas, that are kind of keeping that torch that Working Design started all those years ago, that deserve a lot of praise for bringing over these niche titles to us North American gamers. Otherwise, they might, stay buried in Japan, or we might have to import them from Europe if they were lucky to ever get released over there. So I just wanted to give my props to XSeed Games, that keep up the great work. Definitely give them some business. Check them out if you get a chance. And yeah, just a great company overall. So that's this video. I'll try to keep putting up some more videos here. I know I've kind of been slacking on it a little bit lately. I've been dealing with a couple of health issues, but I'm kind of starting to get back now. I don't really need to go into that too much. But anyways, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.